This video is for Thursday, September 3rd. So September 3rd, and let's get started. So we're going to start with our daily packet. So our daily packet, we're going to go into Unit 1, Week 2, Day 4. Day 4 for Thursday. So we'll share here, Day 4. So these are our boxes that help us with really noticing the different letters in each word. So I'm going to look at, maybe I'll start with my 2-letter words. So we'll look at who, we, hi, no. We really have one 3-letter word, she. So I can do that one already. There's only one 3-letter box section here, so she. And also one 4-letter word only, open. Okay, well, I've crossed 2 words off my list so far. O-P, that droops down, E-N. And she, all H-E, S-H-E. Okay, so out of go, we, hi, no, I see go is the only one that has that little droop down at the bottom. So that means it should go here. G-O. We, that W is a little wider, so we need to find one that starts with a little bit of a wider box, like right here. We. Hi is a tall letter, so we need a tall, and a little skinny for I, hi. And then no, we'll go right here, just small regular boxes, no. Okay, so now we have dentist has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Silent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so dentist starts off with a tall letter. So we'll start with dentist over here, probably D-E-N-T-I-S-T. Okay, looks like it fits. Then tall T, little skinny for the I, tall T, dentist. My goodness, look at my hand is all written on dentist. Sorry, got distracted. Problem, droops down, the P goes down. Prob, the B, prob, little skinny for the L. E, M, and the M's and W's are always a little bit wider. Problem. Then we have silent and napkin. So I see silent has I and L, which are those skinnier boxes that are a little taller. So silent. And then we have napkin as our last word. Write a sentence using one or more spelling words. So these are our spelling words. So looking at these, I'll try to combine to kind of challenge myself a little, but be creative. Try to come up with your own sentence if you can, maybe using more than one spelling word. So I'm going to say, I was silent at the dentist. So that'll be my sentence. So I use 2 spelling words, silent and dentist. And we have our addition here with 3 digits. I'm going to go 4 plus 5 makes 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. 4 plus 4 doubles is 8. 8 plus 4 more is 12. 4 and 6 make a 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 7 plus 4 is 11. Add nothing, add 0, still 11. 8 and 2 make a 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. 7 and 3 make a 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Here we have our fact family. So we'll write our big number first, which is 17. Or sorry, big number for our whole, the total, the n. Big number last for addition, 17. Big number first for subtraction, 17. Then we're going to flip-flop our add-ins. 14 plus 3 is 17. 3 plus 14 is 17. 17 take away 14 leaves 3. If we take 3 away from 17, it leaves us with 14. Our last one here, Kara has 3 red marbles. So there's one there. I'm going to draw 2 more. 3 red marbles, 5 black marbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 7 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many marbles does Kara have? Oh, so we need a total here. Well, I guess I didn't really need my picture, but it might help to count them. What I do see is that I can make a 10. I look at 7 and 3. So if I kind of set it up the way they have it here, 3 plus, but I'm going to put my 3 and 7 together, just because I know those two make a 10. Then I'm going to add 10 plus 5 gives me 15. Or again, I could have just counted. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So either way gives you 15 as your whole, your total of marbles. So that's day 4 for week 2. Okay, so I'm gonna go to our little check off here. So day 4. The next piece with our language arts today is similar, very, very similar to what you did last week in Seesaw. So this is the one activity that we'll post in Seesaw each week, and that's your comprehension questions that go with your little book. This week we had a different book. So last week was The Power to Vote. This week is called Alice's Trial, which is a really fun story about kind of like Alice in Wonderland, but having to do with like a jury and a judge and things like that that we're talking about. So it's a pretty fun story, Alice's Trial. So I want to remind you that with these little books, definitely try to read it for yourself. I mean, this one's a little longer than the one we read last time, but it's fun. It's neat to see the pictures and to go along with the story. But just know that you do have it available also in Benchmark. So I'll just kind of remind you here. So if you go in through your Clever and go into your Benchmark, you'll have your assignments in Benchmark. And what you have for your assignments is you have the little book assigned, you have 3 games assigned, and you have your test assigned, which is for Friday. So I'm going to go to our assignments so you can see. So I still have the week 1 activities, but as soon as I'm done recording today, I'm going to take these all down and put up 1-2. So it'll be 1-2 games, meaning Unit 1, Week 2 games. 1-2 meaning Unit 1, Week 2 test. And then here, instead of saying it, The Power to Vote, it'll say Alice's Trial Leveled Reader. So when you click on the leveled reader, there's actually an option, and we read it this way last week, where you click on it and you push play, and it actually reads the story to you. So just know that you have that available in your assignments. You don't have to read it this way. I've just assigned it to make it easier for you to find. The ones that you do need to complete by Friday are the games and tests, though. So Friday is a good day to do 1-2 tests. So I'm going to go into Seesaw. That way I can share with you how to post your questions. So together, let me come back really quick to Ladybug first. Together, we've already answered the questions. What is the meaning of curious on page 5? And who assists the king in court? So I have this blank, but we've done this together already. For you today on your own is answering these 2 questions. What information does Cook provide at the trial? And then it says, Cook tells that. What does Cook tell? Finish the sentence. And then there's this second piece that we didn't have last time, and that is page number text evidence. Where did you find your answer? So you need to look in your little book and find out what page that answer is that you're saying. So it can't just come from your head. I mean, it can, but it also needs to be proven by the story. So you need to find out where in the story can you prove that that's what the cook said. And the question 2 is, what is the last thing that happens to the king and queen? The last thing that happens to them is, so finish the sentence and then again find what page number it says that whatever it is you finished this off with actually happened. And just as a reminder, in Seesaw, the way you get to the posting of this activity is click on activities. And again, I haven't updated this for this week, but it's going to look very similar. You're going to click add response. I'm going to go as a sample student, and it's going to have the 2 new questions. So this will say leveled reader, Alice's trial, and it will have the updated questions. So the question will say, what information does cook provide at the trial? And you'll answer it. But I just want to remind you how to answer your 2 questions when you do see them. You can either click T for text and start typing your answer, or you can select the camera. And if you select the camera, when you've posted, or if you want to write them in your actual journal, you can go do, and it'll take a picture of your work. And I saw one person did that, so great. Either way works. I want to see that you're starting it off with those sentence starters, like leaders of a community or blank have the power to vote. We're practicing using the question to help us answer. Make sure you select the green check mark to check off that you've already completed that activity. That way it submits it to me. And then I'll get to see a little neat chart that will tell me like who's completed it and who hasn't, in a nice way where I can check out who's done it, who hasn't, and then actually look and read your responses. So please make sure you're completing that. So posting this in Seesaw either by text or writing it and taking a picture. So that's what this says here. Leveled reader, little book, Alice's trial, answer the comprehension questions in Seesaw activities. Here is our activity for our booklet, our government's law. So it's the same story we've read. A lot of times we're going to reread, and it tells us to read 18 through 25. So the entire story. I'm going to go here to reread it, and then we're going to answer 2 questions. What are the 2 different reasons for following rules and laws? And what happens when someone breaks a law? So here's our story. Our Government's Laws by Kathy Fergang. Introduction. Every country has a government. A government is a group of people. The people work together to make important decisions for the country. The government of the United States of America is called the federal government. Each state has its own government. That is called the state government. Most cities and towns also have a government. That is called the local government. Next page. Why does the government make laws? All governments make laws. A law is a rule that everyone has to follow. A government makes laws to keep citizens safe. For example, there are many laws about car seatbelts. Before 1984, no one had to wear a seatbelt. Then state governments began to pass seatbelt laws. Now every child in a car must wear a seatbelt. That is the law. In most states, adults must wear seatbelts too. Anyone who does not is breaking the law. Page. How does the government keep order? Laws help the government keep order. Laws tell people what they can and cannot do. For example, there are many laws about driving. There are laws about how fast a car can go. There are laws about which streets cars can drive down. There are laws about where a car can be parked. There are even laws about when and where it is allowed to honk a horn. Paragraph 6. Police officers work for the government. Some work for the local government. Some work for the state government. Others work for the federal government. They all work to make sure people follow the laws. What happens when a law gets broken? So this is the part we're really interested in because that's where our questions come in. Many things can happen when a law gets broken. Here's an example. When a school bus has stopped to let students get on or off, a car is not allowed to pass the school bus. An accident could happen. It is against the law for a car to pass a school bus that has stopped for students. One day, a driver does not stop. He drives past a school bus that has stopped for students. A police officer sees this. He goes after the car. He makes the driver stop. The officer writes a ticket and gives it to the driver. The ticket says which law the driver broke. The ticket also lists a fine. The driver may have to pay a fine. Sometimes a person must go to court. In a courtroom, a judge is in charge. The judge knows all about laws. A jury is a group of people. They are chosen to listen to court cases. A judge and jury listen to see if the person broke the law. That person may hire a lawyer to help. A lawyer knows all about laws too. What happens in a courtroom? First, a person tells his or her side of the story. Then the jury decides if the person broke the law. Next, the judge decides what happens to the person. In our conclusion, there are federal, state, and local governments. They all pass laws. The laws help keep people safe. The laws help keep order. Police officers help keep order too. Sometimes the law gets broken. A judge may have to decide what happens to someone who breaks the law. So then the two questions that we have are 2 reasons for following rules and laws. So the laws, it actually says right here. So I have in my annotation, my little notes, I wrote 2 reasons for following rules and laws. And what I'll do is I'll circle this so I know that I'm going to circle the answer. The laws help keep people safe, and the laws help keep order. So those are the 2 things that laws help with. That's what they do. They help keep people safe and they help keep order. So that's the first annotation. The other one was, what happens when someone breaks the law? Sometimes the law gets broken, and maybe this one I'll underline. What happens when someone breaks the law? A judge may have to decide what happens to someone who breaks a law. I will also, I'm going to go back here to page 23, because if a law gets broken, something else can happen. You might get a ticket. I'm going to underline ticket. I'm going to underline a fine. So ticket, fine. And I'll remember that those go with my question here because I underlined that and I underlined these. So far I have ticket, fine. Sometimes you have to go to court. And then you have to tell like your side of the story. And then we also said a judge may have to decide. So a few ideas for this question about what happens when someone breaks the law. So that's the end of our annotations for our government's laws. So we're done with benchmark or ELA. Today for math, we did reteaching, which tells us, not tomorrow because tomorrow Friday is math facts practice, but Monday is test day for topic 1, so reteaching. But a good idea is to spend today, if you haven't, catching up on those quick checks. Right now you have 1-1 through 1-7 available in your assignments in Pearson Envision Math Realize. I know lots of words, but in your Math Envision on PowerSchool, you have 1-1 all the way through 1-7 available. The quick checks and the videos. The videos are not required, the quick checks are. Please make sure you complete those all because I have a checklist, and for me, your math assignment, I'm checking off with only the quick check. I'm not checking you off with the sheets. I'm checking you off with the quick checks. These are important to do though because these will help you with the quick check. So let me just remind you one more time how to get into your quick checks. So you're going to go into PowerSchool Once you log into PowerSchool, you'll go to classes, you'll go to homeroom, and then you'll have your assignments come up. Your assignments will have, again, the videos, which you can watch if you need. They're very helpful. Or you can just go straight to the quick check. The quick check has 5 questions about the math. It's a good idea to maybe use your like your little journal, a scrap paper, or your whiteboard to help you work out those problems. But it's up to you. So just make sure you complete 1-1 through 1-7 by the end of Friday, please. So I'm going to check us off there. Check. And then Spanish, just remember, tomorrow is test day for Español. I'm just checking you off here because it's you that are responsible for practicing for your Español however you choose. Excuse me. Again, with los colores, animales, y 1 a 20, any way you'd like. Use your flashcards, your packet, your whiteboard, our virtual classroom and Seesaw. So whatever you'd like to practice, just check yourself off once you've practiced for the day. And that is the end of our video for Thursday, September 3rd. See you Friday.